What is going on, listeners?
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I would do even more better if you would tell me about this wonderful app we're using.
I think you might be to put a little much on it, but okay. Let me tell you about this wonderful app we're using. We're using Anchor. Anchor. And if you don't know what Anchor is, if you've ever wanted to do a podcast, listen to podcasts, want to start a podcast, want to do a podcast with your friends, Anchor is the best place to get started. Point blank, period. Because number one,
it is free, guys.
Free 99er.
Absolutely free.
Can't beat free.
No, can't beat it.
And
all.
I mean, there's a creation tool, helps you record and edit right from your phone or computer, however you feel like it, so you can get it just the way you like it. If you don't have, all the equipment, it's not going to stop you from recording or creating a podcast. That's all yours. Right?
Right.
Yeah, I love the input. Anchor will also help distribute your podcast so it can be heard just about anywhere, such as
Spotify,
and
Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean.
Yeah, that's a good one that you just learned today.
Or wherever you listen to your podcast
wherever.
at, you can find Date Night on there.
Ooh, nice plug. And you can monetize your podcast, no minimum listenership. Start making that good old money just for having people, listen to your podcast, your thoughts that probably no one else should ever hear. But, hey, that's what podcasts are for, right?
Right.
It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So if I were you, I would go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm. Where's it at, babe?
Anchor.fm.
Start your podcast today.
Hey.
You guys are off to a great start, don't you think? I mean, Cindy showed up, so right away, Scott, you got to be pretty psyched, right?
Hey, buddy, I'm not paying you to hear your thoughts on life. I'm paying you to sing.
Well, I have a microphone, and you don't.
So you will listen to every damn word I have to say!
If I had you all I feel. If I had you all I feel. If I had you all I
Woo! Welcome back to the greatest show on earth, everybody.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Good?
Yes, I was adding.
I can see that. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I've been feeling pretty good lately, so,
That's good. I'm glad
Yes.
you're feeling good.
How have you been feeling?
I've had my ups and downs, but I'm okay-ish, I guess.
You're wonderful, darling.
Oh, shuckadoodles. I said what I said. Anyways, I am Tracy.
And I am Kiana.
And this is...
night.
I hope everyone can hear that because I couldn't hear it. But you heard it. Why is it only on yours? I don't like that. Anyway, what are we doing today?
We are talking about one of Adam Sandler's best movies.
I agree. I'm not going to disagree with that.
This was my first time seeing this movie. We are doing The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was your first time. That's
That's why I
crazy.
cracked up so bad.
Sure. That was the reason. That was the reason.
Amongst other things.
That was the reason you were cracking up so much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're continuing May, our month of marriage and weddings and all things wedding marriage related. And I thought I wanted to do this one because this is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies as well. It's definitely ranked. I think it's top 3 for me for sure. Z's. And this is like better Adam Sandler before he started doing shit like Jack and Jill
I think
and
Jack and Jill was his
Bedtime
worst.
Stories.
Never seen it.
And That's My Boy.
Oh, I didn't like that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of duds. Ridiculous
my
Six. There's just
Ridiculous Six. Yeah, that one was dumb.
there was a lot of duds in the Adam Sandler catalog post like Click.
No, I don't agree.
So after Click, you don't think that there were a lot of duds?
Oh, I thought you said like Click.
I said post Click. I think Click was like one of the last like thought out ones he did, and then after that he was just like movies.
Well, he has a movie on Netflix. He has 2 movies on Netflix that I like. One is called Murder Mystery.
I didn't even finish watching that one. I couldn't.
That was a good one. And then he has another one where he's pretending to be some secret cop and he's not really a cop. That's
the do-over, and I don't like that one either. I thought that one was stupid.
The do-over was funny.
Nah,
that one was cool. Like it wasn't his best work, but like it was cool.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. The twist at the end wasn't even like twisty. It was just like dumb. Like, so what was the point of all this bullshit? Like, it was just dumb.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah. All right. So
let's dive right in.
I like it. This movie starts with a wedding. You don't know who. It doesn't really matter. He's singing at this wedding. I don't even remember what song he was singing at this first one. But You Spin Me Right Round. That was the one. And he's having a good time. It looks like he's really enjoying himself. And then we get to the toast, which is important. Steve Buscemi plays the groom's brother, and
I love him. He's so funny.
Yeah, and he's just mad up here. He's drunk, and he's not having a good time.
Right. So I'm guessing he's been compared to his brother a lot. His brother is the favorite child, and he's the loser child, I guess.
He says that.
Yeah, but it's so funny because he's all like, Harold would never beat up his landlord. Harold would never. It's like, what?
He's like, yeah, because those are things that people don't do.
He was all like, you know what else? He's not as perfect as everybody thinks he is. Remember when we went? I forgot where he said they went.
He was like Tijuana or something like that, and we picked up those two chicks.
They were prostitutes.
Well, at least I think they were prostitutes. I don't remember paying. And then he had to go take them.
Right, the wife was all upset.
Oh my God.
He's all like, like stop talking. The dad was all like, you're a freaking idiot, and then
he starts playing the guitar. You're self-taught, no lessons. Thank you very much, Pop. He's just like, yo. He was really leaning into this one. I like that. Oh, it was fun, man. That was crazy. Yes. And then, so, of course, Adam Sandler has to, save the wedding. He's just like, hey, everything's cool. People do a lot of stuff in their past lives, but you're 2 halves of a whole, baby. Right. And once you get these 2 halves together, you got to be a whole, baby.
I could tell you guys are going to be together for a long time. I could tell by the way you just look at each other.
That nigga walked out and said, I give it a month. I give it a year before they're divorced. Of course he had to say they're going to be together forever because she looked like she was about to get divorced right then.
Yeah,
mad about some
her face.
Tijuana hookers that probably had nothing to do with her. Women. Am I right, fellas?
Whatever. So, anywho, Adam Sandler takes a break and he goes outside to go get some air. That's what he's about to go outside to get some air. But he's kind of talking to people along the way. And then we have George. Take it away, George.
George sings this fucking song. He does the Culture Club "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" song because it's the only song he knows apparently.
I like how when he gets on the mic, he his lip curls up and he does this. It's like this serious look on his face, like showtime.
George's time to shine. Right? That's what that is.
The guy was like, scary.
Oh yeah. So he's talking to his friend, and this is when we're introduced to Julia, played by Drew Barrymore. Yuck. Julia is she's the new waitress on this team of caterers or whatnot.
Party planner.
Yeah. And Adam Sandler's friend in this, what's his name? I never got his name. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Did you get it? No, I got was. No, I didn't.
Yeah, all right. Robbie's friend, he basically was like, oh, I'm gonna give it to her. She's in trouble and she doesn't even know it. Which is, what the hell is that? Like, it's a weird thing to say in general, but
right.
Yeah, he's like, okay, sure thing, pal. He's like, if she's half as easy as her sister, which we find out she's pretty easy, apparently.
He's like, I'll be there. I'll get it in no time.
He was like, all right, I doubt it, but whatever. And then he gets the puking kid because he's been drinking for whatever reason.
Because didn't his friend?
No, that other guy gave him some
that
drinks.
made the speech.
No, not him.
Which
just
guy gave him
one
the
of the
drink?
random. It was just some guy,
okay.
And he gave him the drink. He was like, "Here you go. All right, now get out of my face, kid." And he gave him he was the same guy who was like scary. That was the same dude who gave him that drink. So he takes him outside to go puke in the dumpster, and then him and Julia talking. I don't even know what this is about. It was weird.
She's outside because apparently she's been with her fiance for 2 years, and she moved all the way to, where were they at, in New York?
You know,
they
never really
said. She moved all the way somewhere for him to be with him. And yeah, so she has to take a break real quick outside because it's just stressing her out.
Well, I thought she was stressed out because it was her first day and she was getting stressed out because she was working too hard.
She was stressing because she's been together with her husband. I mean, her fiance, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't think he's going to set a date.
Yeah, there was no date to set yet.
Which makes sense. I guess that's something to be upset about. If you're going to be engaged for like 2 years without even the planning of it, at least at the bare minimum, yeah, you are entitled to be a little bit upset about that. And yeah, Robbie's like, oh no, you'll be fine. You know, hey, me and Linda this and me and Linda that, and we're getting married and it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, she was all like, well, they made a pact that she would sing, that he would sing at her wedding. He would sing at her wedding. Yeah, because he's just a really awesome wedding singer.
Apparently. He's also probably like the only one in town for the most part.
Well, no, remember when they
we find out that there's another wedding. He's really the only one in town for the most part.
Yeah, so then what do we get to?
Robbie's wedding.
Wait, didn't he at the old lady's house? He tells the old lady.
Oh, yeah. He's giving her singing lessons.
Which is weird because, so after the singing lessons, she starts telling him, like, oh, yeah, back in my day, I slept with 8 men. And
she's like, that was a lot back then. That would be like 200
today.
I was like, yo.
And he was all like, all right.
I don't want to hear that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then he gives her singing lessons and she pays him in meatballs. And it was so disgusting because she just slapped 2 big meatballs at his head. And he was just like eating it.
He just took a bite like an apple. Like, ate it like a fucking apple.
That was gross.
Yeah, they did not look enticing at all. They look like literal meat. Just, I don't want to talk about it.
I'm not really into meatballs.
Yeah.
Like, maybe like the little tiny ones. Like, I don't.
There's a joke there.
I know,
I'm just gonna,
that's why I stopped myself.
See that? You see how mature I am? I just let that slide. I didn't say anything at all. Growth, man. Growth.
But yeah, it was kind of gross.
So then we get to Robbie's wedding, and he's waiting, and they're playing this string version of "Don't Stop Believing." So apparently it already started.
And it's a big wedding. Everybody they know is there. And, you know, he's just up there and waiting. And the pastor was all like, so what's going on? And he's like, she'll be here. Don't
I'm sure
worry.
It's makeup or a dress or something.
He still has hope.
And he's smiling the whole time. It's weird because he's just like, keep the smile on. Nobody will know that everything's going wrong. And then, who was it? Like his sister, right?
Comes, his sister comes and she walks up to him and tells him that Linda wasn't home. Their parents went over there, and her parents went over there, and she wasn't home. But she left a note, and the note pretty much said that she wasn't marrying him today.
He's like, so what does that mean? Like,
he said, so it was a bad note.
Oh yeah, because he asked her, he's like, so was it like a good note? It was a bad note. Yes, it was.
Yeah, so Linda never shows, and he was like, all right. And his sister's like, do you want me to talk to everybody for? He's like, no,
it's cool. Just give me a minute.
So he goes in the room and just starts freaking out.
He tries
much.
to pep talk himself.
Yeah.
Keep it together.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Which is really sad.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like, how would you react to like something like being stood up at your own wedding? Like, that has to be the worst feel. All those people are like,
it's the worst feeling. It's embarrassing. It's just a lot of things. Like, I feel to not show up to your wedding is very disrespectful because you've had so much time. Like,
Yeah.
I would say, like, you had so much time to think about if you were really going to marry this person or not. So why on the day of the wedding, unless you were just trying to embarrass the hell out of that person?
yeah, I mean, it worked for sure, but like, what's the benefit? Like, of waiting that long? You put the money into this wedding and all of that stuff. He's not getting that money back.
Nope.
She owes him. She owes him for however much it costs. She owes him money.
It's very disrespectful.
Yeah. Honestly, like, you know, look, I don't.
Like, I don't want to be with you, and I found out just now on the day we were supposed to get married.
I don't advocate violence very often, but you know, somebody want to go ahead and just handle that herself. You know, I wouldn't say no. That's how I would feel.
Yeah, but so what? Later on that night, it's not even the next day. Later on that night,
I think it's that same day
Yeah,
he goes home and they're like, "You got to get over." He's like, "What the fuck?" Like it just
literally
just happened.
Yeah. So he goes outside and he's sitting on the porch, and she walks up.
And there goes Linda. Fucking Linda shows up. How dare she? And she's basically like, you know, I started thinking about it and I'm not in love with you now. I was in love with you 6 years ago when you were in a band.
Yes, and she was all like, he was like, well, it's okay. We can always plan our date. Like, he still has hope.
Yeah.
He's like, we can always plan our day later.
Well, yeah, because she says, I don't want to get married right now. He was like, all right, I mean, that's fine. We can do it like another.
Yeah, he was like, she was like, no, I never want to marry you. And I was like, damn,
like,
never.
Yo, why? Why? Why so mean?
And it is so mean because she pretty much broke up with him because he doesn't have nothing. He lives in his sister's basement, and she pretty much just called him a loser. He's a wedding singer, and that's all he'll ever be, and he could never get her out of the town because he doesn't have money, which is it's really sad. And he even asked her like 2 or 3 times, oh, this would have been good news to hear yesterday.
He said,
like,
okay, yeah. He was like, that would have been information that I could have used yesterday. And then she said something else. He's like, again, information I could have used yesterday.
She's
like,
just like not even answering. She's just ignoring him when he says that, and she just keeps talking about how he's not good enough for her.
He's just a wedding singer, and he's giving piano lessons for free, basically, or whatever the case may be.
And in this movie, he is described to me to be the all-around nice guy. Like,
yeah, he's just like, he's his character from Mr. Deeds if it was like in the 80s, essentially. Everybody knows him. Everybody's really cool with him. He's just, people, it's a small town anyway, so that's just how it works. And so, yeah, so, I mean, even one of the kids comes out, she's like, hi, Linda.
Yeah, right when he was sweet
You're
talking.
a bitch.
Yes, right when he was sweet talking to her, it looked like she was gonna take him back.
Yeah.
And then the little kid just came out and called her a bitch.
He was like, nice. Nice timing.
Right,
Good timing.
Thank you for that.
Exactly. So then we go back to Julia and we get to finally see Glenn, who looks like a dweeb. And
From Miami Vice.
he clearly wants to be in Miami Vice. He's just rocking that polo. And
look,
he's
everything.
what's he saying to her about he finally sets the date.
Oh yeah, and he wants to get married in Vegas.
He wants to do it in Vegas.
He doesn't want a big wedding. He wants something small and quick, just to pretty much get it over with. And she's like, I don't want that. I want a big wedding, and I want to do planning and all this stuff like that. And he was all like, okay, if that's what you want to do, then you go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not helping.
Yeah. Well, basically, because at first he didn't even like think about it because she didn't really say that that's what she wanted. He knew that's what she wanted.
Oh, yeah.
But then she was like, fine. He was like, are you going to do that girl thing where, you say you're fine, but you're pouting on the inside? And she was like, no. And he was like, yeah, the fuck you are. Fine, we'll have it your way and such and such and such. And then she's like, yeah, yo, I can't wait. And then we get we skip ahead to Robbie's at his next gig, at his next wedding gig, and he is
because his friend
forced him to go back to work.
And he told him like, I'm not up for it. I don't want to go sing at nobody's wedding. And she was like, you'll be fine. You have to just jump back into it. You'll be good. So yeah, he gets to this wedding and he is a hot mess.
Yeah, he's singing Holiday in the worst way possible.
Holiday.
Celebrate. It's a time to celebrate. The only person into it is George.
But it was the long notes that had me cracking up too. Because he just held it. Holiday. It's not a long note.
It was bad. It was bad. And then I loved the part that comes because Holly asked the friend, he was like, why would he come back so early? Like, who would convince him to do that? It was the friend. He's like, yeah, I don't know. Who would do that? That's crazy. Fucking asshole.
Right? So then he goes on his rant, after he does sing his song, he goes on his rant about love and how he hates it.
Well, he was basically like, this has got to be good for you. She showed up, so you're already in the win column. And he's just like, here's the thing. Guys like me and Fatty over there and the lady with the sideburns and the mutants at table 9, we're never going to fall in love. And the dad's like, hey, I'm paying you to sing, not give me your life story. He was loading up. Well, I have a microphone and you don't.
So you will listen to every fucking word I have to say.
He's just like, and he keeps going. He keeps talking about it. And then the dad steps up again. He was like, you shut up or I'll do this. He was like, sir, one more outburst like that from you and I will strangle you with my microphone cord. I'm sorry, but if somebody says that to me, I'm going to be like, all right, I'm going to leave you alone because you got some issues that you got to work out.
Right? And then he goes around singing Love Sticks, and he's getting all the people to sing with him that he was just talking about that will never find love. But they're all singing along with him like, yeah, Love Sticks. So the dad comes up behind him, and right when he turns around, he punches him right in the face.
And then they throw him out into the dumpster. And
when Julia comes outside, he's still in the dumpster just chilling, which I put, there's no way in hell I'm just going to be sitting my ass in no dumpster. Like, that has been those foul smelling.
Look, this man was stood up at his own
I can be stood
wedding.
up. I do not care.
He's
I am
super
not
depressed.
He
has to watch all these other couples get married and have great fun.
So you're just gonna sit in the dumpster.
I'm not saying that I would, but if they threw me in there, I'm not in a rush to just be out. I'm at my depression stage. Like, you gotta let me wallow for a minute.
I'm not that depressed.
I'm wallowing.
Just wallowing in a dumpster.
Yeah, Julia comes out and she sees him in the dumpster and she's talking to him, and she's honestly kind of selfish in this scene because she's kind of like, but you have to sing at my wedding because I'm getting married. And hey, just because your wedding was all fucked up doesn't mean mine is going to be, like, all that stuff. Right. And he's just like, nah, I don't do that anymore.
Congratulations, I'm not singing at your wedding.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not doing weddings anymore. He was like, well, what else are you going to do? And is that the bar mitzvah?
Oh, yeah, he's doing other events.
Well, no, it's the engagement party first because she does invite him. And he's like, maybe I'll go. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then they do go to it. His boy is wearing the Michael Jackson jacket and the glove.
Right.
He's like, could you take that glove off, please? Thank you. You look ridiculous. And then as soon as he took the glove off, the jacket didn't look so bad.
Yeah,
I was like, that's not a bad jacket.
He wasn't dressing up anymore.
He looked stupid with that glove on.
He really did. And it's funny because Julia is with her fiance and she introduces them to what is
Glenn?
Yeah, Glenn and Robbie.
No, Glenn and his friend. I don't know what his friend's name was.
But Glenn meets Robbie and his friend, and they have nothing in common, really. So his friend ended up leaving, and
when he's introduced, Glenn's friend is like, "Oh, hey, you're the guy who got stood up at your wedding, huh? That must suck." He was like, yeah, thanks for bringing it up. My parents died when I was 8. You want to bring that up? Yeah. Why would I want to talk about that? I don't know.
So yeah, then they end up leaving. So then he's talking to Julia and the friend, and then this part had me dying too because he just put his friend on blast. He was like, "Yeah, remember when you said that she wants it and she doesn't even know it, and you're gonna be the one to give it to
Right?
her?" He was like,
"What?"
"I never said that."
He's
What?
like, "Yeah, you did. You said she's in trouble."
And his friend just walked away. He's like, "Asshole."
That was cool. I like that because it was fun. It was like, I think it was like the only time he had a good laugh since, Linda broke his heart.
Since Linda.
Linda.
So what happens after that?
Oh
then
yeah,
they start.
she kind of like convinces him because this is when Glenn is like, "Oh, I don't really want to help with the party planning. That's not really my thing. I'm gonna be bored. What if I mess up a flower arrangement? Ha ha ha.
You're
Like,
gonna be so upset with me. You got this. You can do it." So Robbie ends up telling her where she should go instead, and she's all like, "Oh, okay." And then she was like, "It kind of sucks that I'm not gonna be seeing you anymore." And he was like, "No, you are. You're still gonna be seeing me. I'm just not doing weddings no more, but I'm doing all other events."
exactly.
And then that's when we get to the bar
mitzvah. And this looks fun. I've never been to a bar mitzvah, and I probably will never be going to one. But I wish I could go to one because they look like they're having a good time, and I want in. I want in on that good time.
Yeah. So.
I mean, basically he's doing the bar mitzvah. They find this kid who's kind of a loser and no girl wants to dance with him. So he's like, all right, I got an idea. And he gets back up after George is already doing they have to cut George off again because he goes right back to doing, do you really want to hurt me?
Do you really? Like, he's so into it.
It's his song. That's why he's like, we got to teach George another song because he doesn't know any other ones. But then, so he concocts this little plan. He gets, essentially gets Julia to dance with the geek or whatever.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh, man, can't believe this guy got Julia.
And I don't think it wasn't that he was a geek. It was because he was fat.
Man, whatever. Either way, he's the loser here, and no girl wants to dance with him. So he gets the hottest girl. That reminds me of that same scene in like Bad Teacher where she gives that kid the bra.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right.
It's not a really good plan because he does eventually, molest Julia.
Right? He puts his hands on her butt.
And he's talking about just go with it.
Right?
Get the fuck out of here.
Move your hands back up. But then the weird part is,
this was
now
weirder.
Adam Sandler is down there. Well, Robbie is down there dancing. He pulls a girl to the side. And they're dancing. And then he puts the little girl's hands on his butt.
Yeah.
And it was just all like, okay, I see what you're trying to do.
Where are those kids' parents?
Exactly. No, we're not doing
First
that.
off, the little boy's parents should be like, get your goddamn hands off that woman right now. And then you're not going to put, I'm sorry, all good intentions aside, you are not going to take my daughter's hand and put them on your ass. Nah.
Exactly.
Nah. That's not going down.
He gets the girl to dance with another boy, and then he goes back and starts singing, and everybody comes and starts dancing. Now everybody's dancing with their hands on their partner's butt.
Yeah, it's grosser when the old couple is doing it.
Why?
I don't know, because they're old. I don't want to see two old people playing grab ass. That's disgusting. Laughing and stuff. Ew. Gross.
They're enjoying each other's
They're gross.
company.
I mean, we're going to be like that when we're old. Still gross.
So after that, Julia tells Robbie, like, hey, you were right about that shop. They gave me a really good deal, and they threw in like a little extra. And he was like, oh, see, I told you he'll take good care of you. And she was just like, yeah, I had an idea. Like, maybe you can help me plan
She
this
hits him with
wedding.
the, I'm new in town.
Yeah, I don't know
A girl can get
anybody."
taken advantage of. All that bullshit. Your feminine wiles.
And, he couldn't say no, so he decides to help her. So it's him, his friend, and Julia's sister.
They go to this
planning
cake
the
shop,
wedding.
and he finesses the or was it the cake or like a photographer or whatever?
Yeah, the photographer. They
Yeah.
finessed the photographer. Like, no, they kind of blackmailed her because.
Well, he was like, I know for a fact that you gave such and such this price.
Yeah.
She's like, what? I would never. He's like, come on. And that's how you know it's a small town.
Yeah.
He knows that, like, you now
like,
you gotta
all right. So, and then his friend is supposed to be a driver, but He's like hitting every code, and he just like grabs the bride and groom mannequin, and he just throws them and stuff.
Well,
them in the back seat.
we skipped ahead, but that is hilarious that he makes him do that. He was because she's like, he's the only driver in town, and he's your best friend. Of course, I'm going to hire him. He was like, yeah, but I just like messing with him. He's got the stopwatch. He's hitting all the cones. He's putting the mannequins in. And he was like, I'm sorry, buddy. He was like, what did I do? He's like, you hit 3 cones. They were cones. He said, they could have been guests at the wedding. They were cones. Yeah. But yeah, what we skipped was when they go to get the wedding singer. Now, this is when we get, this dude played by John Lovitz, who's hilarious. He's singing Ladies Night, and his band, I'm sorry, but his band is off the chain. He's killing it. He may be over the top, but he is actually, I would hire this guy. Yeah, no, you don't have to say so. I'm hiring this guy. But they're doing that, and he's like, I should thank you, or should I thank Linda? He was like, since you quit, business has tripled. So apparently there were 2 wedding singers in town, and only one of them was getting any.
Exactly, business is booming for him now.
Yeah,
and but I don't know. I guess he kind of disrespects. Robbie. So Linda's all like, "Oh well,
you just inspired me to get a DJ."
Yeah, exactly.
So boom, he was like, "All right, well, good luck finding a DJ who can do this."
Yeah, he starts like jiggling and walks away. And then crazy. Robbie and Linda Robbie and Julia start talking, and I guess she finds out that he was writing a song for Linda. And she's like, "Oh, well, I want to hear it." And he's like, "Nah, like I don't want to play it for you because he said they don't really match. I wrote the rest of it after we
he was like, I was listening to The Cure a lot, so bear with me. And this song, it sounds all good. It's nice, but then it takes a turn. But it all was bullshit.
Very depressing.
Oh, I love this song. I love it. It's a great song. I want that song. I gotta find it. I couldn't find it. That's the thing that pissed me off. I looked for it on Spotify and I couldn't find it.
You have to look on YouTube.
Man, I hate YouTube.
On YouTube, I bet you'll find somebody doing a cover on it too.
But I want this. I just want to have it like in my phone, so I don't have to like hold it open, because you know how YouTube is.
I turn my phone off.
You can turn your phone like completely off.
Yeah, but that's also because I canceled my Spotify for YouTube.
Wait, I don't have it. I don't even have anything to say to that.
Because
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to explain yourself to me. You don't have to explain yourself to me. YouTube lady.
YouTube music.
The wackest of songs.
They know all the vibes.
I don't none of the vibes.
You put your vibe on, they'll just play all musics of your vibe.
YouTube doesn't know my vibe, so I'm not listening to YouTube.
But yeah, so it was funny though too, because while the guy is in the back, the other wedding singer, he's in the back watching Adam Sandler sing his song.
He's lost his mind. But I'm reaping all the benefits.
And he does like a creepy little smile stare and
just close the curtain. Yeah. Like, dog, I don't know, man. I got to see how that ended up for him, because it couldn't have been great. So what happened? Then we do the montage where they're doing the cakes and looking at flowers and all that other stuff. And that's when they have his friend drive do the little obstacle course and stuff like that.
And then we find out that Julia kind of has a thing for Robbie, because her friend and her sister, they're like talking about the wedding, and then she tells her sister, like, they're discussing the kiss. The sister wants them to do a tongue kiss, and she just wants like a closed mouth kiss with like a little tongue. And then what does she call it?
Church tongue.
Church tongue. And hers is like, well, what is church tongue? Because you're going to have to show me. So Robbie pops up to drop something off.
Her coat.
Her coat off. And he's standing there. She's like, well, kiss him. And then they're just looking like she's smiling. And he's just all like a little nervous.
He's like, yo,
what? And then she's all like, well, if you're going to do a church with a little
I need to
tongue,
see if
yeah.
I'm going to make an educated decision. She's like, well, if it's for educational purposes.
Exactly. And then they're like, she's like, we're all grown here. Just do it. So they kiss, but they start kissing.
Oh,
kissing.
yeah.
It turns like really romantic and they pull away and it's just like that magical, like, wow. Whoa.
And it doesn't help that the music in the background is like really setting the mood and all that other stuff.
And then Glenn walks in and Robbie
Fucking
just
stupid.
panicked and it was all like,
I kissed her. I didn't mean anything. I just brought the jacket.
Yeah,
and just
and
ran
then
the fuck
left.
out.
And then Glenn's like, who he kissed? And then
Holly
she's
was
all
like, oh, me. Who has it?
Yeah, right. But you know what? I like Holly because there's no shame in her game.
Nah,
she
not
does
at all.
Not care. Like
Not one bit.
She knows. Like she wants to start dating Robbie because like I guess that kiss turned her on. And she was talking to Julie about it, and she was all like, "Well, if you don't want me to," she's like, "No, go ahead." And
trying to save face because she's like, why wouldn't I want you to? It's not like I like him or anything.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's all like, oh, okay, well, he's not gonna get laid. And they both
looked at.
And she's like, okay, he probably is.
Yeah.
So then she says like, why don't we all go on a double date? So they go to what, some nightclub?
Yeah, it's like a club, a bar, whatever. It's a club because there's dancing happening and
Julia's just throwing them back.
She's drunk because she's clearly like doesn't like seeing Holly with Robbie and it bothers her because Holly is trying to like extra flirt and it's kind of yeah, and she's just like, oh, you know who I find sexy? Robbie Hart. She just like stuffs a fry in his mouth and he's just like, thank you for that fry.
And then she really throws one back after that.
Yeah.
And then they start talking and she's all like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. And she just walks
She steps
right
on the table. That shit's dope. They're fucking dockers.
And then, yeah, her husband didn't even help her or her fiance.
He was like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So while Robbie and Glenn are at the table, Robbie notices that Glenn is looking at some girl's ass. And, I mean, this girl has no panties on. Like, of course she doesn't. Yeah, because it's like a little mini skirt.
The miniest.
And he's, like, looking every time she bends over. So then Robbie sees him. He's like, okay, I'm about to play a game. Like, we're about to play a game. And he pretty much gets
Who is he,
Glenn.
Jigsaw?
Yeah.
You want to play a game, Glenn?
So he pretty much gets Glenn to confess that he cheats on Julia.
Well, yeah, because he's like he does it really slyly because this is like all ego, and I think Robbie knows that Glenn's like an ego dude because he's like, excuse me, he's like, oh man, she's hot. He was like, yeah, she is hot. He was like, that's grade A top choice meat.
Yeah,
fucking weird. He was like
right.
He was like, yeah, but we can't get girls like that now. We're too old. He was like, speak for yourself. He was like, yeah, like 10 years ago. He was like, try 10 days ago.
Yeah,
and I'm
he's like that. He's like even better, even hotter.
Yeah, it's just weird and younger. Fucking creep.
Gross.
Yeah. And he's just like, all right, but I bet the party stops once you get married. He was like, I work in the city. I work long hours. You catch my drift?
Exactly.
He's just like, okay, you're
guy.
a fucking
Yeah,
scumbag.
exactly.
Like, you're the worst.
So Julia comes back from the bathroom and she threw up and they're walking her outside and that's what she tells Robbie, like, I threw up in my hair. I bet it stinks. Can you smell it for me? And he does.
He smells her hair like a creep. Everyone's a creep in this movie because that's a creepy thing to do. I'm not smelling your hair, especially after you just told me you threw up and got it in there. He was like, nah, it smells nice. I was like, nah, there's no way it smells nice.
Exactly. So Julia and Glenn leave and Robbie.
Glenn's playing the Miami Vice theme song in his car, by the way, which is also a DeLorean, just so you can see how much of a rich asshole this guy supposedly is. Fucking Miami Vice theme song.
And Julia's sister and Robbie walks home. What's the sister's name?
Holly.
Oh, yeah, Holly. They walk home, and Holly pretty much kisses him and then tells him that if he comes upstairs, she doesn't make it this easy for guys, but since he just got out of a relationship and he got his heart broken, she's going to make it easy for him. If he goes upstairs, he's getting laid. And then he was like, whoa, like.
Right.
And he just kind of ignores what she says and then asks about Holly and Glenn.
Or no, Julia.
Yeah,
and Glenn.
Julia and Glenn.
Get your names
Goodness,
together.
I know. So bad with names.
The worst. But yeah, so he does ask, and she's just like, well, you know why she's marrying him, right? For the money and all that other stuff. And he's just like, oh, well, he's kind of an asshole. And, you know, and then she kisses him, and he's just like, nah, not really my thing. I'm out of here.
And she was like, oh, and that's what she was all like, oh, wow, why didn't I see it before? You like her. You're into her. And that's what she was saying.
Yeah.
You know, Glenn, she just wants Glenn because of his money and pretty much that he doesn't have
for security.
Shot with her.
Yeah.
So the next day, Julia goes over to the old lady's house to check if Robbie's there.
Well, she goes home first.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's Holly was like, oh, nothing happened. I talked to him, blah, blah, blah. And I told him why you were really marrying Glenn. And she was like, what did you say? Because you're in love. And she's like, okay. And for the money.
For the security. You told him that? Why?
Of course she did.
Yeah.
And then that's when Robbie is out trying to get a job because he does. She goes to the old lady's house that he's giving lessons to. And she's like, oh, he's trying to get a job. So he doesn't have time to give helpless old ladies like me singing lessons. Good shot. Good shot. And then, so then she's just like, and then we cut to Robbie. He's at a bank. He has no answers for any of these questions. He's like, why do you want to work here? I like money. I need money. I spend money. I have a little bit. It's in a jar on top of my refrigerator. I like to put more money in that jar. That's where you come in. It's just, yeah, he's not qualified in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all.
He was like, look, I'm just trying to impress this girl. Could you give me like a business card with my name on it?
And the guy was like, yeah, okay, we're really done now. So, and then what does Robbie go out with his friends at the bar?
No, well, first, because he goes back home and Julia's there waiting for him. And they get into it because he's upset, obviously, because now he thinks he knows why Julia's getting married to Glenn.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, why are you marrying that asshole? And she's like, what? What do you mean? I love him. And
yeah, well, at first he was they were saying that goodness gracious. I just had it in my head.
Yeah, no. I know. Because when he comes back, she's just like, oh, hey, you were supposed to give the lessons to the old lady.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, I'm trying to get this money, son.
Yeah, and she was like, you're not about material things. Like, you don't care about the money. And he was all like, no, that's what it's all about, right? That's the only reason why you're marrying Glenn.
This is a material world, and I am a material girl.
Or boy. And she was just like, well, that's stupid. And yeah, that's when he just blurted out.
It is weird, though, because she's kind of pressing it. Like, this isn't who you are.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, but
this is you.
How do you know that? Like, you don't know me that well.
Exactly. We've only been spending a couple of weeks together all day, every day, trying to plan this wedding.
All right. When you say it like that, yeah, maybe she does know him a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, so then they get into it, and she hits him with the "you're a jerk," and it just throws the papers. It turns out it's like sheet music with his name on it, like songs and music and lyrics by Robbie Hart. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I am an asshole.
Yes, and then he goes out with his friends.
And go to the bar.
Yep, and they're
this old dude is a trip.
Yeah, they're just he was just like all around the table.
He was just there. Yeah, he was just like on the other side, not on the other side, but like right on the table by them when they were talking about it. And he was like, you need a prostitute. And he was like, what the fuck? Like, no one asked you. Get the fuck out of here. And that's when his friend is like, he was like, you know what? I'm just going to do what you do, man. I'm just going to have sex with girls and then send them on their way. And I'm not going to care anymore. He was like, and I'm just going to be happy. He was like, I'm not happy, man.
This was kind of like, for me, it was a conversation of a person on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Like, he sees his friend as like always getting girls and he's having fun while he's single and stuff like that. And then his friend tells him, Like, no, man, that's not what I want at all. I want to be laid up with somebody. I just want somebody to hold me and tell me that everything's going to be okay. Like, I want that partnership. Like, I want it what you had.
Yeah.
And you know that happens a lot of the times.
That's
where
true.
A single person wants what everybody wants what each other
Yeah,
have,
the grass always looks greener on the other side, but then like everybody else is wanting everybody else's life. Like that person who's been married for 30 years, like, man, maybe I missed out on something. The person who hasn't been married is like, man, I just want what you have, and you don't even know how lucky you are.
If you've been married for 30 years and you come out of your relationship talking about, man, I think I'm missing something, just stay in that relationship.
You know, yeah, at that point, it's like, what are you going to do, bro?
Like
what are you going to do?
30 years,
Oh,
like, come on.
I'll be fucking 64. I'm like, man, you know what? I think I should just go out and play the field for. I'm 60. Nah, I'm sorry.
64. We're not getting divorced.
It's
You're stuck with me.
It's not going down.
Bring the little bitch to the house. You're stuck with me.
You fucking trip.
We ain't getting a divorce.
Yeah. So then he basically throughout that conversation somewhere, Robbie is just like, you're right. I'm gonna go get my woman. And this is the part about all romantic comedies that drives me insane. It's not your woman. And that's not how it works. Like, you can't just be like, you know what? I do love her, and maybe she loves me too, so I'm going to go get her, even though she's getting married in a couple of days. It's just not logical, and it doesn't make any sense. And that's the fairy tale that these movies tell you. That's not how it would work.
Triumphs everything.
Bullshit. I can tell you.
Like, if you love that person, it doesn't matter if they're getting married.
Yeah, you got to let that ride.
Yeah, no, you have to express your feelings.
Man, fuck that. I'm not like, you know how embarrassing that's going to look on you when she basically tells you that I'm getting married in a couple of days? Oh, these kids are loud. Right outside the door.
Is the window closed?
No, it's not. I should have closed it, but I did not. I hope none of that made it in. But if it did, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is what we do, baby.
All right. Live.
You're getting it all fresh. So yeah, he's hyping himself up. He's rehearsing what he's going to say. He's like, I'm going to be like, I think about you when I wake up, and everything is just so much brighter. Food tastes better and all that weird crap. And she, on the other hand, she's having this conversation with her mom like, am I doing the right thing? And her mom's like, of course. He's rich. He's handsome. He's rich. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she tells her mom, like, I don't want to marry him just because for the money, but I feel like I'm not even in love with him no more. Like, I don't know if I could do this. And her mom's just like, suck it up. Stop being a baby. You want security? Who marries for love anymore? Like, you need to marry for security.
That's basically, that is what she told her. And then she's in the mirror, is like, hi, I'm Mrs. Julia Gulia.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know. I would cry at that name.
I wouldn't even get with anybody if their last name was Gulia. I cannot, especially if my name was Julia.
Yeah, I'd be like, you know what? This isn't going to work.
Exactly. You should
clearly for aesthetic purposes. I'm not writing that on any of my paperwork. Julia Gulia.
Mrs. Gulia.
Mrs. Ugh. I don't know. Maybe it's cultural or something, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and then she starts saying, hi, I'm Julia Hart. And
she said, I'm Mrs. Robbie Hart.
Yeah.
We're so glad you could come to our wedding. Like, that's a little creepy.
Yeah, she just starts smiling and laughing like, oh, have some champagne. And, and he walks up and sees her in her wedding dress, which is hideous, by the way. But
did you say it looks like a T-shirt?
Yeah, a T-shirt with a skirt attached to it. But... so he walks up and he sees her all laughing and giggly and happy and smiling. So he thinks that, she's happy to get married when really she's in the mirror thinking about him. And he just walks away. He goes back to the bar.
As he should have done from the beginning. Like, what was the plan here? For both of them. I don't understand any of that. Like,
she was going to break it off with him.
Yeah, so then he goes back to the bar. He's got his own 40 for whatever reason. And the guy's like, hey, you got to take that outside. And he's like, all right, fine, we're outside. And then he sees Glenn, and Glenn is hugged up with some bimbo, and he was like, hey, we're having a pre-bachelor party, which is a stupid fucking thing. I've never heard of that, and it sounds made up.
Yeah,
but
like, if you want to come back, you guys want to get some drinks with us. And Robbie because he's in love with Julia, was all like, why do you do this, man? You can't cheat on her. She's a good woman and all this stuff like that. And Glenn was all like, shut up.
You better not go snitching.
Yeah, I know you liked her from the beginning.
Yeah, he was like, you little still think I don't know about your little schoolboy crush and all this other stuff. And he was like, I forgot what he said to him, but he was like, you know what? I haven't been in a fight since the 5th grade, but I kicked that guy's ass and I'm about to kick yours right now. And this old man.
This part was so funny. This old man was not so, well, he did. He punched him, but the punch was just so soft. Like it was nothing at all. And he was all like, sorry, I used to be stronger.
He's like, yeah, sorry. I used to be much stronger. He's like, what the hell are you doing, old man?
I would have been so mad at that old man.
Yeah, because now you put this guy in a position because he just gets punched by Glenn. And now he's like, hey, you should write a song about this. You should say, call it, I got punched in the face for sticking my nose in other people's business. Fucking old man. Sounds like a country song.
The dance move that he did. Like
his little Elvis hip shake. Yeah.
His legs were all pointed in.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
that part was hilarious.
Yeah, I know. You were in literal fucking tears.
I could not stop laughing. I had to pause the movie.
So then Robbie stumbles home because he's drunk, which is fucked up. Nobody gave him a ride. Like, that's pretty jacked up. But he stumbles home because he's drunk, and Linda is there waiting for him in her skimpiest 80s dress and her heels, and he passes out. He doesn't remember shit. And that's when, what happened?
So after that, the next day, Julia goes to Robbie's house because, she's going to confess her love to Robbie.
Also, what the fuck did she expect either?
I have no clue. But then Linda opens the door and was like, can I help you? And she's like, oh, is Robbie here? She was like, he's indisposed, if you know what I mean. And
winkety wink wink.
He's in the shower. And then she's like, okay, well, can you tell him that I stopped by? And she was like, okay, Jennifer. And she's like, Julia. But then the
she
girl
just closed the door. Yeah.
So it turns out Robbie was asleep in the bed the whole time. And, he woke up and he's looking at Linda like, what are you doing here? And then she was all like, oh, we talked about this last night. Remember? I'm back. I want you back.
He was like, no, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works.
He's like, you psycho. And then because of Julia thinks that Robbie and Linda are back together, she runs home and tells Glenn. Like, let's get married.
Let's go to Vegas.
Yeah, let's go to Vegas. Let's get married right now. Like, let's do it. And he's like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. And he's like, all right.
He doesn't even question it. He's half asleep in his fucking zebra print underoos. Like, what the fuck, bro?
So, yeah. But then Robbie ends up kicking Linda out his house. And they were at some event the next day or the following day. They were at some event. And then he was
doing a wedding. I think he was at the 50th the 50th thing. And that's when he who said something?
Holly comes in and she tells Robbie that they're not home because he figures out like, oh, I need to go. I need to tell her.
Because the old lady's like, go get your girl and all that other stuff, which is also very bad advice.
Holly comes in and was all like, oh, well, you can't. Like, they're on their way to Vegas getting married, on a flight or whatever. So he's like, oh, we have to hurry up and go. So they go and get a plane ticket. And Robbie grabs his friend's credit card and pretty much like, I'm using your card.
He was like, you going to pay me back? He was like, no. But if you don't let me use it, I'm going to tell Holly all that stuff you told me at the bar. And he was like, all right, just go ahead and use it. And she was like, that was really sweet. He was like, thank you. That's not how you respond to that. You just got to have to be like, yeah,
So now they're messing around.
Clearly.
So he ends up on a flight and
he's in first class.
Yeah, he's never been in first class before. So everybody's like asking him if he wants a towel, if he wants something to drink. And after he gets a drink, he starts telling his life story.
And everyone's just listening. He's like, yeah, so I'm on my way right now to stop the wedding and all this other stuff. And then He's like, how do you gonna know? He's like, I don't know. I'm just gonna start going to chapels and hope I strike gold, I guess.
Everybody's all like, oh.
Exactly. And then he was like, then one of the stewardess comes in. She's like, you're not gonna believe this. Some jerk in coach just asked me if I wanted to join the Mile High Club. Said I was grade A top choice meat. And he was like, back there? Yeah. And he looks at him. Holy shit, guys, they're right there.
Like, oh, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, like,
no way.
Yeah, we got to make up a plan for what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So they come up with a plan that
fucking Billy Idol's on the goddamn plane.
He was going to sing the song to her, and and that's pretty much what he did.
He's just like, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we here in first class do whatever the fuck we want, so we're going to do whatever the fuck we want.
And just sit back and enjoy this song.
And then Robbie comes out and singing, and Glenn's like, holy, what the, no, not on my watch, buddy. And then everyone's in on it. The fucking guy with the drink cart pushes him all the way back. Then Billy Idol gets in his way, and he was like, get out of my way, Billy. And some big dude just, don't talk to Billy Idol that way. I'm like, yo, what?
Right, and pushes him in the back, and then they lock him in the bathroom.
They lock him in a bath. That has to be at least. Where was the marshal? Where are the air marshals during all of this? I know they're on these planes. It doesn't make any sense.
Not on this plane.
Oh, my God. That's illegal as hell.
So, yes, and Julia was all like, oh, that is the most beautiful song I ever heard. And even Billy was all like,
he was like, yo, that's a good song. I'm going to tell the record company people about you. He was like, yo, I'm trying to do something right. Oh, yeah, man, do your thing. Do what you got to do. Weirdo fucker.
Gets the girl.
And they get married, and they should not be happy at all. And, and for whatever reason, Steve Buscemi's character is the wedding singer for his wedding. It makes no sense.
Why would it be like George or the other?
Because George is only gonna sing "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me," and we cannot have that. We cannot have that. So, ranking time. I think I know where we both stand on this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and skip this and give it the applause it deserves. The Wedding Singer is a great great
it was movie. A good movie. I enjoyed it.
I love this movie. It was fun. We watched this movie a lot for no reason. And I will say, like, the pacing is really good. It's not long. It feels like it gets to the point real early and just keeps it going. Yeah. And you need that in movies because a lot of these movies be dragging.
Yeah, they do.
And they don't even got dragons in them. Hold on. I know there's a rim shot in here somewhere. There we go. All right, baby. You got anything for next week?
I am thinking about doing Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one.
I was thinking about doing Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Is that a wedding movie? It's not really a wedding movie.
Yeah, it's not. It's not because they didn't get married.
No.
Yeah, so.
No, not at all.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna be doing Wedding Crashers, which I love this movie. I showed you this movie.
You did. You introduced me to this one. It's a good movie. I enjoy. But also another movie where people don't deserve to be together. Whatever. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it next week. Yeah. So
that's it. Thank you guys as always for supporting, for listening, for following us on Instagram. If you haven't yet, please do. And yeah. Oh, and then don't forget to check out my my business Key Ingredients on Instagram. That's key_ingredients. Check me out. I'm making a lot of hot shit, y'all. So
damn, toot that horn, man. Toot that horn. Toot it.
But yeah, please check me out.
We'll do. All right. And on that note, we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.